Hi, everyone. I'm Josh Radbod, co-founder and CEO of the PBC Conference, the B2B conference for payments, banking, and compliance in the cannabis industry. I'd like to welcome Jared Mirsky, founder and CEO of Wick and Mortar, one of our PBC conference speakers. Jared, thank you so much for being here. Please tell us a little bit about you and what your business does.
Thank you so much for having me, Josh. I'm Jared Mirsky, CEO and founder of Wick and Mortar. We were the world's first cannabis-focused branding and marketing firm. We've been around for 13 years now and have quite literally seen it all. We've been in the industry since well before its inception, from the black market, some like to call it or some don't, to the rec market as we know today. So it's been really interesting journey, and thank you again for having me on your conference.
Yeah, and thank you for being here and for joining us this year, Jared. I mean, you've been a pioneer really in the industry. So, when people hear branding and marketing, could you kind of dig into that a little bit and tell us more about your customers and how do you help them?
Yeah, well, when I think of branding, whereas most I think often look at branding as a checklist item on a to-do list, and hey, we need a logo, we need a name, we need some packaging. Well, that's not branding. That is brand identity. That is like the clothing to your brand. Brand is the promise that you make to your customer. It is the journey they have and the exploration it takes them to fall in love with your company. So how do we create that feeling? How do we create an atmosphere? How do we create a brand that is niche focused enough to capture an audience that will become loyal? So when I look at a brand, it's really a lot of strategy work. It's, how can we differentiate ourselves from the competitors and or offer more value than anyone else? And, looking at the different mediums in which one can do that, is the difference between, what makes a brand stand the test of time and, a brand fail in, 1 to 2 years. So, again, when really understanding the branding process, it's a journey that, not only exists for yourself as you're building it, but the same for your customer. And so they like to have that journey with you.
100%. Very insightful information. I know the folks that are listening are going to love that. Thank you for that explanation, Jared. So what are you most excited for about PBC 2021 this year?
Well, I'd have to say the most exciting thing is, learning more personally about, the new opportunities that the industry, is, challenged with, but also, seeing as real opportunal, evolutions in the space. And I think that's what the PBC conference really does, in a sense of, helping guide more business owners towards more solutions that ultimately result in, successful business and transactions nonetheless. And so from a deal making perspective and from a relationship making perspective, that's why I really love speaking at conferences, is, being able to network with other like-minded individuals and, really better understanding, the craft that they're in, because I'm not an expert in everything. I've been in the industry for 13 years. So nonetheless, anytime I get a chance to learn from other experts is certainly a good one for me. As they say, the teacher will appear when the student is ready.
I like that. I'm going to start using that one. Thank you so much for the kind words about the conference, my friend. So Jared, this is one question that everybody likes. What is one fact about you that would surprise everyone?
Oh, gosh. There's a lot, actually. I'm just trying to figure out which one should I say. Well, when I was 18 years old, I was a male entertainer. And
really?
I really was. Yep. It was, it's not like female strip clubs at all. I was a male entertainer. It was more entertainment, but it was, I was 18 years old. And I have to tell you, being a public speaker now, most people go on stage trying to picture people in their underwear to make them feel more comfortable. Whereas I was the one in my underwear on stage. So it made it a lot easier to transition into public speaking, having had that as a prior experience. But I would say that's probably the thing that most people would be interested in learning, Now, I hope that is, not a poor representation of myself by any means, but I certainly think it is part of my past. And I think when you look at, what are the things that you've done in your past and how have you been able to take those, whatever you might call those lessons, those experiences, and translate those into your future. I think this just conveys that no matter who you are or where you come from, you can do or go anywhere.
I couldn't agree more, my friend. Thank you for saying that. That's probably the best one we've had so far. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm consciously trying to determine in my head if I should have said that, but you know what? I'm all right. My publicist will have a field day with that one.
You're good, man. Well, Jared, thank you so much for being here and for speaking at our 2021 PBC conference. Folks, if you would like to meet Jared and his team, please join us at our PBC conference at the Washington Capitol Hilton on September 9th and 10th. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.